Let's get good. I am the Gamer Under Development, and this is Legends of Runeterra. Today we are going to be doing a very interesting, fun little deck. I'm not even sure this is going to work, but it should be fun. This is called Blood on the Snow. It is a Poro deck mixed with a little bit of Vlad here. Now, the way that this deck works ideally is that we have all these Poros. The whole Poro skeleton thing is built around doing every Poro from your region. You also want cards like the Poro snacks, things like Braum that actually produce more Poros. He's actually kind of key for the Poro deck. And then we add in there some Poro Herder to pull Poros out of our deck, and we combine that with the Heart of the Flooft. The Heart of the Flooft itself is actually a pretty nice value card because it gives you a 4/4, and then when it dies, it gives you another 4/4. So that's really, really strong. And the initial 4/4 can actually be bigger if you have other Poros in play. So basically, it is a 2-for-1 in that it gives you 2 bodies for the cost of 1. Now, we're combining that with things like Vladimir, who will deal 1 damage to the enemy Nexus for every one of your attacking units, while hitting all your attacking units for 1 as well. He'll also gain Regenerate on his level up, which makes him incredibly resilient. And we're using that along with Scar Maiden Reaver, which also gets Regenerate, and along with Braum, who also has Regenerate, and the ability to produce a new Mighty Poro every time he takes damage once he levels up, to kind of fuel Vlad in the late game and allow us to close out without actually necessarily connecting with their Nexus. We don't have to hit the Nexus, we just have to send enough bodies out on the board. We're also taking advantage of the damage that Vlad will do to empower stuff by using Take Heart, which will grant a damaged ally +3/+3. The one concern I have for this deck is we don't have a ton of removal. Our early game is a little bit more fragile than our late game, so if we run into like a rush deck, we might have a little bit of problems. But if we make it to the late game, this deck should curve out nicely. Speaking of, let's check out our mana curve here real quick. You can see we have this nice little mana curve that is just perfectly smooth. 4 champions, 30 units, 10 spells. If I had an additional Braum and an additional Vlad, I would include them, but I do not, which is why we're running 2 Scar Maiden Reavers instead. Those, once again, will be very useful with their Regenerate and their Overwhelm, being able to benefit from things like Take Heart, as well as being able to fuel Vlad's damage to the Nexus. Very, very fun little combination there. Let's see how this does. Let's take this into a game against a person and see if it survives contact with the enemy, because most great strategies seem great until they meet contact with the enemy. We'll see how this does. I'm honestly fairly confident it will perform well as long as we don't run into somebody that's super aggressive. Aatrox is dead. Okay. This is an interesting deck. This is a deck with no champions. So this could be a quest deck here. It could be a lot of different things. Let's just hope that it's not anything too tough. I'm going to send all these back because they're more late game cards. Transfusion here is only 2 mana, but it's really a late game card for us because our early game includes Poros, which only have 1 life, and it deals 1 damage to one of our units to give another unit +2/+2. So not great in the early game. Crimson Aristocrat, also not great, but if we don't have a target, I don't think she can hit herself, which makes it fine. Yeah, this is actually going to be fine right here. We did get Take Heart, which is really, really nice with our setup. So we could play an Affectionate Poro. Oh yeah, we're playing an Affectionate Poro here. The Challenger on this will allow us to pull the Green Glade Duo off the deck or off the bench and kill it next turn, which is kind of important here. We're going to end up taking 2. Nothing we can really do about that, which is fine. And then we will also gain a mana in our saved mana. So now, if we wanted to, we could play one of these guys. If we do, though, we'll end up killing our Poro, which is not ideal at this particular moment. We could Poro Snacks here. How do we want to do this? Poro Snacks, make this Poro even bigger. That doesn't seem really necessary. Actually, that's not even a question. We just want to go in and pull this off the bench. If they do buff this, we'll Poro Snacks to try to get 1 more damage out of it. If not, then we get the trade here and we get rid of an elusive unit. As you may or may not know, elusives are very, very powerful in this game. Right now, they're actually kind of problematic, but that depends on your perspective. I feel like they're more powerful in lower ranked than higher ranked, but yeah, they can be quite obnoxious. So here, even if we use our Poro Snacks, we really don't get much for it, so I'm just going to let it kill it. Nothing we can do about that one at this moment. If we'd done anything else, it would have ended the same way as well, so it's really not a loss for us there. We did take a kill spell out of their deck with a 1/1 Poro. So I would say that was a good trade if this elusive unit wasn't still on the board and still capable of doing significant damage over time. Gonna go ahead and play our Crimson Aristocrat here. This is fine. This gets us a unit down. We won't be able to block with it, but it will set us up to do some fun things with Take Heart next turn. So that's good. That'll be just fine. Alright, now we're in a pretty good position. You'll see why in just a moment. We're actually set up quite nicely here to do fun things with Take Heart. However, it is worth noting that they've got 5 damage on the board that we literally can't interact with at all. So we're going to go ahead and Crimson Aristocrat right here. So Vlad just got closer to leveling up, and this is now a 4-1. Now, this is fine. At the same time, they're over there on the other side of the board going, it's okay, we're going to go straight to the dome. And they are. They absolutely are. They're going to get a lot of damage in here. There's 9 damage that we can't interact with at all. Because that is super balanced. And then we're going to use Take Heart to go ahead and buff this up even more. Like, it's fine. You're going to get what you're trying to get, but you're also going to be forced to make some trades next turn that you won't want to make. And that's sort of what we're going to have to aim to do, because we can't stop these guys right now. There's really nothing we can do to stop them. Okay, we're gonna take our 9. Skipping our block, taking that 9, there's really nothing we can do to stop that. Now here, on the other hand, we could do... I think what we'll do is we'll put this down and also take a health off of this to buff it. So now we've got 2 big threats that are ready to come in. And we do have Transfusion here, should we need a spell to buff them further on this coming turn. A couple Poro Snacks here are not actually helping us out that much. And I kind of just want to go in here before they have a chance to do anything to stop it. Now, they could play a spell to do some damage and potentially reduce this. What are they playing again? So they've got Piltover and Zon. If we give them time to play a card, they could play a card that does 1 damage to all of our allies, and that would actually be more painful for us at this particular moment. So we'll just go for this. You're either going to take 11, or you're going to put something in front of something, and then we're going to kill it. That's the trade here. So they're going to block here, which is fine. We're going to, I believe, get a chance to go ahead and Transfusion here. Yeah, that's what I needed. So we'll take 1 off of this to give this +2/+2. And now we're going to kill this guy, so they're not getting... Well, I guess they're not getting much out of this anyway. They've already got the bonus from that. They're fine with trading it off. They're still going to be taking 11 here, which is pretty solid for us. But if they play a minion, we basically lose next turn. Oh, that's fun. That's fun. Okay, so nothing we can do to stop that. Really, we're down to whatever we draw next turn. Like, we could use 3 mana to play the Poro Snacks here, but it's actually better for us to just hold it. It's better for us to just hold it. If we draw something that Frostbites next turn, we're actually in a really good spot. That is not Frostbite. That is not Frostbite. That does not help us at all right now. Yeah, we're probably dead here. If they play a minion, if they play another one of these guys in particular, we just lose. Okay. So now they don't have enough to necessarily play something from their hand that could finish us. That doesn't make us safe, really, though. Okay, we're going to go ahead and play the Avarosan Outriders, which will grant the top unit in our deck +3/+3 and Overwhelm if Allegiance triggers, which it did. That's why we saw the deck glow. Yeah, now we're dead. There's literally nothing we can do. Okay. Poro Snacks, because they're there. And now we're dead. Come on. They'll never see us coming. There's nothing we can do about it. Elusive is very interesting. I mean, I did say that I was worried about fast, aggressive decks. That's all Elusive is. So we kind of took a loss there against the deck that we expected to lose against. If we run up against something that's less fast, less aggressive, we've got a much better chance in the first place. So we're going to try another game and see how that goes. So the reason why we don't have a lot of kill spells in here is because the Poro deck is naturally heavy on... Oh! Hello there! It's the Mirror. Okay, so this should be fun. This is a Mirror matchup. We can kind of see what they're doing with the same theme, I'm guessing. We'll send that back, we'll send that back. We'll keep our Iceveil Archer. So anyways, as I was saying, we're heavy on the 3-mana slot because we have a ton of really, really solid, strong 3-mana cards. So we don't have access to the best kill spells without messing up our mana curve and just being totally in the 3 slot. And that's definitely an option, and it's something I'd considered, but at the same time, like... you want to make sure your mana curve is solid so you can get the most value out of it. So this is an interesting play here. That's something I was considering putting in the deck. I ended up going with the Crimson Aristocrat instead because the Crimson Aristocrat will add more triggers for Vlad, where this just reacts to the triggers for Vlad. What this does in comparison, I guess we don't need to do this. We might actually want to save that and just take the 2 here. Yeah, let's save that and take the 2. So what this does is when it survives damage, you deal 2 damage to the enemy Nexus, so it gets a little bit more direct damage. The Crimson Aristocrat that I'm running and the Icevale Archer I'm running instead, Icevale will actually save us from some damage, potentially a lot more than 2, and then Crimson Aristocrat will actually deal 1 damage to an ally, which helps level up Vlad. It also gives that ally +2/+0, but that part is sort of consequential. Okay, we'll save some mana here, that's fine. And there we go, that's a nice little pickup. The question is, how much value can we get out of that since we really only have some spell mana saved up? You know what we can do, though? We can play this. I honestly still want to save that as a defensive thing, so we're going to go ahead and play this instead. Oh no, here comes Braum. Okay. That's not great for us. Them having Braum down first is kind of problematic, but it's not the end of the world. We'll be okay here. We do end up wasting 1 mana this turn, but the reason we're wasting that 1 mana is because it allows us to hold on to Icevale Archer, and there's our Braum. This guy's interesting. Another card that I considered for this deck, but I didn't put in. We'll see how this goes. This is a very, very interesting matchup so far. I'm actually excited now to see how this all pans out, because we're in a very good matchup. Braum versus Braum, let's go. Yes, waves. This is fun. Yes, we can Braum wave. This is good. What do we want to do here? So, I think what I want to do here is this.
But I don't care.
Yeah, so our Braum actually takes a damage here, which gets him closer to leveling up, and we kill one of their units. Oh, sad times, sad times. Saving 2 mana for spell mana for next turn. This is going to be very, very useful for us this turn. We could play Vlad right now, but there's not a ton of value in doing so. So instead, what I'm going to do is we're going to play Crimson Aristocrat here. We're going to use that to do a damage to Braum, which will also give Braum 2 attack. Now this is kind of a setup, but don't tell them, guys. Don't tell them. This is kind of a setup. So we're going to go in, and we're going to pull their Braum off the bench. And we'll just... Well, actually, I guess we don't need to pull their Braum off the bench. That's kind of silly. Let's pull this guy off the bench instead. And we'll just go ahead and power him up. Now, if they do have a buff here, they could actually kill our Braum, which would be unfortunate, but they didn't, so we got the best value out of that we could possibly get. We're going to go ahead and end our turn. So far, our Braum deck is kind of, well, our Braum Vlad deck is kind of winning the mirror match. We are down on Nexus health. Oh, Troop of Elnuks. Okay, so that's a twist I didn't see coming. Thankfully, however, we do have a sort of a counter for that twist, and that is our Icevale Archers, which are just going to say, nah, that guy's a 0. Okay, what you got now, bud? That's crazy, though. Very, very nice archetype. So I think that this is an interesting archetype that we're in. We aren't mirror matched to them perfectly, which I actually kind of like. Yeah, you know what? Let's go ahead. Well, if we do that, we do have 1 slot left open. Okay, so we'll go ahead and do that. They're not wanting to fight this turn for whatever reason. I'm not sure what that reason is, but we're going to put Vlad down next turn, and that's going to put them in a position where they kind of have to debate whether or not they want to fight. Because Vlad is going to start to apply pressure. As we don't really want to go in with Vlad because they have a bunch of blockers that are a threat. But if we do go in... Okay, so they did decide to go in here. That is a good choice on their part. They're protecting Braum by putting somebody weaker in front of Braum so that we can't actually, like, get through and kill him. We can kill the Avarosan Sentry here. We can trade for one of these Elnuks here. And I'm actually fine with trading one of these for damage. The only thing that could be a bad outcome from this is if they manage to buff their Avaros and Sentry and kill our Braum. That's really unfortunate for us. I don't know if that's going to happen. It could. It definitely could. But even if they tried, we do have a Take Heart, which could potentially... Well, I guess Braum's not damaged. If they try to kill Braum or, like, do damage to him to set it up, then we can use Take Heart, but we may not actually get that activation after all.
Do they need our help?
What you gonna do, man? Come on, it's on you. This is a really cool thing to see the same archetype being done a little bit differently, though, because it does give us the ability to kind of gauge the choices we've made on the deck. Beautiful. Braum levels up. It's that time, y'all. It's that time. Braum is a beefy boy now. Whenever he takes damage, we're gonna get a Poro, which is really cool because if we send Vlad out with him, he takes the damage, makes a Poro. That Poro may or may not also take a damage, giving us another hit on the Nexus. So it's really just kind of awesome. Do we buff Braum even higher with Take Heart here? No, I don't think we do because we don't need to right now. He's already gonna be a beefy boy. When he regens here, he's gonna have a ton of health. And every time he takes damage, we're gonna get another Poro. So holding on to this Ice Veil Archer, very good play here. Oh, come on. That was just too nice. This is so nice. I'm glad we drew this right now. It's perfect. It's so perfect, guys. I can't even. We're in a really solid position right now. So Vlad is down. How close is he to leveling? Vlad needs to see one more ally survive damage, so this is gonna be great. Because what we're going to do here is this. We're going to poke... Well, actually, is this burst speed? These are both burst speed. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to go in with both of these guys. We're going to pull the 5 damage guy here to try to protect Vlad. And we actually have even more protection for Vlad if we need it. We're just going to go in with the board, actually. There's no reason not to. We go in with our whole board here. This guy's gonna die to power Vlad's ability, but that's okay. We don't really care. It's just gonna do direct damage to the Nexus. If they had blocked him anyway, I wonder if we... No, if we take him out with our transfusion before this triggers, then we just won't get the extra damage to the Nexus, which is fine. It might have actually been better to hold this guy back. Might have actually been better to hold him back, but I got excited, guys. I got excited because Vlad's gonna level up as soon as his ability triggers here, and then we're basically on Dream Street. Things are just gonna get real nasty real fast. Like, if they don't have buffs here, we're in an even better spot because we do have buffs. Okay, so they're gonna give Braum extra defense. This is important here because we know he's gonna level up. When he levels up, he's gonna get an extra attack, but it's not gonna be enough. And it won't be enough, but it will if we do this. Or we can trade and kill this guy too. Oh, that's tough. Here's what we're gonna do. Here's what we're gonna do. Watch this, guys. This is gonna be phenomenal. So Vlad's gonna level up. We're gonna give this guy +2/+2, which means he's gonna stay. He's gonna actually kill this Bull Elnuk, and then we're gonna go ahead and buff Vlad now that he's damaged, which means he'll also kill Braum. We're about to clear their board. Everything except this guy's gonna die. And that's perfectly fine by me. And they have 2 mana to react to it, so there's not a whole lot they can do. Like, I can show you... Oh no, what do they got? Oh, they got a transfusion too. Okay, so Braum is going to survive. He's actually going to survive and level, which is even cooler for them. So very nice. Very well played on their part. We did get our little guy here, which is great. Their Braum's gonna level up. So now they're not in quite as bad of a position. We are still gonna trade for most of their board here, though, and get some additional Poros. This is pretty great right now. I'm digging this. I'm digging this. Okay, so now this is not as straightforward of a fight as it was before. Their Braum still has no attack power, which is problematic for him. Oh, that's great. And we have another Take Heart. And they have a Vlad coming out. He is a 7/7 already. Very nice. Our Vlad is still much stronger, so there's that. Let's go ahead and say that... No, we'll save him. We'll save him. We can save him till next turn. Make better use of him that way. Because we can take Vlad down to 0 attack and then go in. Oh, Crimson Aristocrat. It's a good play. Vlad just got tougher. That's a very good play. Now the question is, are they going to come in with him? And if they are, do we risk the block with Braum here? I think not. I mean, he doesn't even have Overwhelm, so we can just block with a Mighty Poro. I don't really care. They can only pull one Mighty Poro off the bench and force the block there, so that's fine. Okay. That's a play. Alright, so they're going hard here. They're going hard. They want to go in for the full damage. So what we're going to do is... that. Yes. That's what we're going to do right there. That'll mitigate the most damage while keeping us from losing the most resources. Like, we are going to lose both of our Poros here, but that's not a big deal. Now, the best part of all this is, provided we take a little bit of damage with Braum, we can actually buff Braum up to 8 attack. I don't know that that's worth it right now, though. I think we can get much, much better value out of that next turn when we Frostbite Vlad. And then potentially pull... Oh, wait a minute. Vlad's going to regen, so he'll go back up to 9 health. We're not going to get much value out of that anyway. That's fine. This is all good. This is all good. Ah, there we go. Nice little Challenger Poro guy. That'll help out a little bit. What you got? Come on. Let's go. Let's see what you got. This right here is kind of our trump card. Oh, they did have another Braum, and he's got 1 attack now. That's interesting. Let's go ahead and make this guy have no attack. It's a very strong little play right there. And then we do have Braum's Take Heart here that we can use to trigger some interesting things as well. The real issue here is, can we kill Vlad? And I think we can. I think we can kill Vlad this round with Braum. Once Vlad's ability triggers, Braum will be hurt. We can go ahead and use Braum's Take Heart.
It's just blood, darling.
Oh, that's an interesting choice. Okay, I'm fine with that. I am totally fine with that. What we're going to do is we're going to go in with these 3. And we are going to pull Vlad in front of Braum.
This is fun, yes?
There we go. This should give us the opportunity to take heart here once our trigger goes off. It may not. It may not. It depends on whether we actually get to react here, and I'm not even sure about the way the priority will work on that. But if it works correctly for us, we're going to be able to use Braum's Take Heart on our Braum and pump a little bit more damage into here, and that should help us kill Vlad. Can't say it's going to let us do that for sure, though. I hope it does. No, it's not. Okay, so we're not going to be able to get that. That's fine. We did get an extra little guy, which is all good. And then if we wanted to here, we could go ahead and pump Braum up even more, which I actually like that idea right now. And the main reason I like it right now is because we know that Vlad's health is capped out at 7 at the moment. So with his health capped out at 7, there's actually the potential for us to kill him with a block with Braum now. Which means that they'll probably use their Braum to pull our Braum, which means that if we wanted to, we could use our Vlad to kill their Vlad. This is just a very, very interesting game at the moment. Very, very interesting game. We're almost stalemated here because we're doing the exact same things. We do have a Lonely Poro here that we could kind of play and do some fun stuff with, but the reality is that if we can draw a Heart of the Flooft here at some point, that's going to help us kind of turn this game around and potentially steamroll it, mainly because the Mighty Poro does have Overwhelm, which means that they do damage past whatever health the enemy that blocks them has. Okay, what you gonna do here? That's an interesting choice. He's probably going to pump this guy then to keep him alive, which is, you know, very, very... I want to say... Oh, okay, there we go, yeah. So he's going to pump him, get a little more damage. That's fine. That's totally fine. What we want to do here is maximize our damage prevention, which we can do by putting our low toughness characters against the higher toughness guys, although we actually want to swap these so we can kill this, and then we'll put him here. Actually, that's a better choice, because he's down to 2 health already, so there's a lot easier ways for us to finish him off at 2 health. So we look at this, we're dead. Shoot. Well played, sir. Okay. So that's probably it for us. I can't see any way for us to prevent a little bit more damage. Yeah, we're dead. We're dead mainly because of Laud's ability, so they got the health lead early, and then we stalemated in the late game and they won. So maybe theirs was the more successful deck here. I'm actually gonna watch this video back later, because I really think that what this came down to was them getting that early damage. And they did it with that card that deals damage when it takes damage, deals damage to the Nexus, so maybe that card does have a place in the deck after all. Sad times here. That was a very good game. Not going to tip us over to the next reward, though. So we've got maybe about 5 minutes left. I guess we can try one more. Let's try one more real quick. Hopefully this one goes a little bit faster. I'm going to try to play a little bit faster for this one, because I don't want to go too far over time here. Alright. Let's get a game. Come on. That was a fun matchup, though. Getting the mirror there was pretty fun. So this is a very different type of deck. This is a deck that looks to be aggressive early and then close out with Darius. So we'll see how we do against this. This is a very interesting matchup. We may actually counter them quite well. It does depend on a couple of different factors, but we may actually counter them quite well. That's actually a great draw for us, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're playing everything on curve here. We are going first, which means we get our Affectionate Poro. Very nice. Very, very nice. Iceveil Archer here is perfect for turn 2, especially if they turn 2 into Elise. And then the Poro Hoarder on... Poro Herder. I don't know why I always call him the Hoarder, but anyways, if we play him on turn 4, we should draw... Oh, wow. Alright, well... We now have 3 minutes left on time, and they just conceded, so I guess we're not gonna really be able to try that out. I wonder if this deck is just like a really bad matchup for that deck and they recognize that. It's kind of sad though, because we did draw perfectly on curve. So we'll go open our little reward here from Shadow Isles. It is an epic capsule, and that'll probably be it for this one. What do we get? Oh, 2 more Ruinations. That's actually really nice. I think that completes my collection of Ruinations. Yeah, nothing there was a double. That was a great little pull. Thank you guys for watching. The next week we might do something a little bit different, so look forward to that. It will be in the Riot wheelhouse, but it might not be Legends of Runeterra. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the show. If you did, make sure to go ahead and give us a like or subscribe to the channel, and we will see you next time. Bye!